Hey, thanks for joining us. It's our look around Europe, Spain, Italy, and Germany. Let's start with Spain then. On Wednesday in the Champions League, PSG won, Barcelona won. PSG win 5-2 on aggregate. We saw the best and worst of Lionel Messi in this game, Des Corkill. He missed the penalty. He scored a scorcher. And there's a lot of talk. I mean, Juan Laporta is the new president now. He's going to try and make Messi stay. I was watching a lot of Spanish coverage at the weekend, and they're saying things like Barcelona are seriously in debt. But if you're a bank in Spain, can you imagine trying to call in 100% of your loan on an institution of the country? It'll never be allowed. So they're not going bust anytime soon. So should they break the bank and keep Messi there?
They've already broken the bank, and so Messi, sensational, wonderful, awesome, but he can't be going on. If Koeman is trying to build a team, or if Koeman's allowed to stay there, if Xavi comes in, whoever's got to come in has got to be allowed to build a team. And Messi's on his way out. It's still sensational, but you can't build a team around him anymore because the longevity of that team won't be more than 2 years. So if I was Barcelona and I owed that much money to financial institutions, I would do my best to try to cash in. And if I was Messi, I would. I don't know what I would do if I was Messi. Actually, do I stay out of loyalty, or do I say, hey, listen, I can help the club that I've been with since I was a kid, really help them out here. I used to be a big fan of loyalty. Messi should stay, but I did a bit of research around about loyalty, and clubs loyalty only seems to go one way. So the club need Messi gone. Financially, Messi could help the club going out. He's only there for the short term. So I think give Ronald Koeman or whoever the new guy is a chance to rebuild without Lionel Messi.
I hear what you're saying, Des. But Roshan, even if you're talking about 2 more years of Leo Messi, we're sensible people now. We're all in a world pandemic. You come out to Leo and you give him a decent enough contract, 2 years, say you're in for the long term, you're a club institution, we cannot let you go. Is it worth doing that? Because I'm asking you this, without Messi this season, would Barca be second? Would they have got that far in the Champions League?
No, I mean, some people out there are saying he's on the decline, but he's still a top scorer in La Liga, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just, even if he's on the decline, he's just still a level above everyone else in the world, or it appears to be the case anyway. I mean, he tried his best, and he has been trying his best with his Barcelona side in the Champions League as well. But look, I have to agree with what Des is saying. Again, it would be wonderful for him to stay at Barcelona, to see his career out there. But if you ask me if it's worth it, what price are we attaching to his stay over the next 2 years? In terms of finances, Barcelona are in deep trouble. They absolutely are. They've got to cut their wages. So I'm not sure if realistically it could actually work, unless Messi is actually willing to say, I'm going to take quite a significant pay cut here just because we want to be loyal to each other. There's a new president in there. I like him. I like what they're doing. I like the young players that are coming through. Pedri, by the way, absolutely outstanding. That's a name to keep a lookout for over the next few years or so. But I mean, in an ideal world, I would love to see him stay there, sort of help groom the next generation of players coming through. I mean, can you imagine if you're Ansu Fati getting to train with Lionel Messi week in, week out? I'm just not quite sure if it's feasible financially. And I mean, the clubs that are reportedly in for Messi are PSG and Manchester City, who have the money to spend, have the money to blow on a player of his quality. So I think it will be very difficult for Barcelona to keep him. I would love for them to keep him. I would love for him to stay, but I think it's coming to the end of a journey here, purely based on the financial situation.
Top player takes massive pay cut. Sorry, Bob.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there is obviously the finances will dictate, but there's also the playing side of things here. Let's just look at Messi himself for a start. He's very, very much associated with Barcelona, and he loves the club, no question about that, doesn't want to leave. And can you see him really performing at Man City on cold, wet nights in Burnley, or even France, PSG. I mean, it's hard to imagine him being really motivated for anything other than the big games, the Champions League games or the finals or what have you. And I don't know whether he could really perform, especially in the Premier League, where the tackling is harder. Even now, even with the rules, having changed, still everyone says the Premier League is tougher physically than anywhere else. The weather's worse. No one disagrees with that. It's a big ask. He may decide to go to PSG because he's got his mate Neymar there, and he gets an easier ride in Ligue 1. Most of the games they call them holidays there. There's only a couple of games a season domestically where he would be stretched. But even that, it's a come down after Barcelona. So I think there is the football angle as well as the financial angle. And for Barcelona, these kids you mentioned, Pedri and Fati and the like, they are very, very exciting. They've got a crop there that's brilliant, but they're looking to Messi for leadership. And Messi's looking at them, and he seems to be the father figure now there at Barcelona. And he's bringing those kids along. And that could work on the field, even if it's a short-term thing. They eventually would have to replace him. But I think that, bringing those kids along, if you ask Fati and Pedri, do you want Messi to stay? They would say yes, absolutely, every time. So there are a lot of issues there, and it's not all financial, although that will probably dictate.
All right. On Thursday in the Europa League, Villarreal beat Dynamo Kiev 2-0 in the Ukraine. There were fans in the stadium. Granada, 10th in La Liga, beat Norwegian side Molde 2-0. Here's your top 6 in La Liga at the moment. Atletico with that big a lead over Barca. They actually won in midweek, their game in hand. So this weekend, you've got Real Madrid against Elche, 3rd versus 17th. Getafe against Atletico Madrid. Granada, 10th against Real Sociedad, who are 5th. Sevilla against Betis. And Barca, who are 2nd, play bottom side Huesca Tuesday morning. On to Italy we go, where on Tuesday night, Juventus beat Porto 3-2. It was 4-4 after extra time, and Porto won on the away goals rule. Des Corkill, this was a cracking game to watch.
Yeah, and Cristiano Ronaldo has come under immense fire for turning his back in a wall. And the winning goal went through the wall, beat Chesney, and suddenly Cristiano Ronaldo, who could do no wrong, is suddenly seen to be costing them $1 million a goal. My word, football just turns like that, doesn't it? Juventus, strange this year. Are they going through a transition? Are they trying to get rid of older players? It doesn't seem like it. Are they trying to nurse Pirlo through for a team such as with so many serial winners or so many titles? It seems very strange what's going on there. And they have a lot of old players or older players at the same time coming towards the end of their career. They're still a fine club, of course. What are they? They're 3rd in the table, but they're 10 points off Inter at the very top. So for Juventus standards, this is an average or below average season. And I don't see what Andrea Pirlo is doing to turn it around. Maybe they claw back the money from Ronaldo because they made huge losses last year, Juventus. But is getting Ronaldo, as with Barcelona, getting rid of Messi, is getting rid of Ronaldo the answer for Juventus? I really don't know. I'm just really pleased to see somebody other than Juventus up at the top of the table and winning the league. I'm delighted for Romelu Lukaku, and it looks like Inter are going to get back up to the top of the standings and back into the Champions League as champions. But Juventus, Ronaldo, I don't know what the future is.
Yeah.
Does he go to PSG?
Yeah, they all end up at PSG. Yeah, absolutely. That would be some team to watch. But Roshan, you cover a lot of Italian football. I mean, what's up with Juve? It is a Pirlo experiment. You can only call it that, can't you?
Well, first of all, I've got no sympathy for Juventus. They've absolutely crushed everyone in terms of the finances and in terms of the squad that they've built over the last few years or so. And also, I've got no sympathy for Cristiano Ronaldo in that wall. That wall was a disaster. I mean, the four of us, Ross, yourself, Bob, and me, the three of us could stand in the wall, Des in goal. The ball wouldn't even reach Des because all you actually have to do is just stand still. Stand still. Stand still. You don't need to be. I mean, make no mistake, Cristiano Ronaldo has been an absolute monster throughout his career. Goal scoring form, whatever, absolutely brilliant. But these are the things that sort of kill coaches. These situations got nothing to do with tactics. Just stand in the wall and get hit by the ball. But look, with Pirlo, they've obviously got to give him a bit of time. And
will he get it though? Will he get it though?
They have to, right? Because if he doesn't, then the pressure is on the board to sort of admit that, hey, we got it wrong. You know, we let go of Sarri, who won the title. Yes, people will say they won the title by 1 point, but that's besides the issue because they had actually secured the title early on. They let go of a title-winning coach. They didn't give that title-winning coach the finances he needed to sort of rebuild the side. They tried to rebuild it with lots of young players coming into this Juventus team. They want to play a different style of football, which we are seeing at times from Pirlo. He wants to implement his style of play. But look, they have to be challenging. At the end of the day, it's a results-based business. They have to be challenging for Serie A, which they aren't at the moment. They're quite far off. They've got to be challenging for the Champions League, which they've not been doing over the last 3 seasons or so. And Cristiano Ronaldo was brought in mainly because of that, to help them take that next step up in Europe and win the title that they've craved for the longest time. It's a great slap in the face to Agnelli, though, who's come out and has talked about revamping the Champions League and not wanting the smaller sides to come in. And we can absolutely see why, because his side just not good enough.
Because the smaller sides like Porto dumped them out. That's why.
Absolutely.
All right.
Can I mention my club here? Can I mention?
Yeah.
All this bluster about Juventus, you know what I'm going to say. They've only won the European Cup / Champions League on 2 occasions. And it's really poetic justice that Porto should knock them out, because Porto have won it on 2 occasions. And I'll just slip in the other 2 clubs that have won it on 2 occasions, Benfica and Nottingham Forest. And Juventus, they pretend they are up there with Real Madrid, Barcelona, United, and Liverpool as the royalty of Europe. They are not. On their European Cup record, they are not in the same class. And he's got all these ambitions of this revamping the Champions League just to make sure they're going to be in it every year, even when they don't qualify. That is worth another discussion, I think.
You can find Bob Holmes on Twitter at Shanks, Yanks, and Jörg. All right, elsewhere in the Europa League, Italian clubs, Roma beat Shakhtar Donetsk 3-0. Stefan El-Shaarawy, I didn't even know he was still playing, returned and scored. Man United drew 1-1 with AC Milan. Simon Kjaer with a last-minute equalizer. So here's your top 6 in Italy at the moment. Inter running away with it. You see the gap with Juve, 10 points at the top. This weekend, it's Atalanta 5th against Spezia 15th. Torino in 18th against top of the table Inter. Parma in 19th against Roma in 4th. Cagliari in 17th against Juve in 3rd. And I guess the game of the weekend is Milan against Napoli, 2nd against 6th. Hopefully Napoli take a lot out of AC Milan, and they work really, really hard for that. On we go to Germany then. On Tuesday night, Dortmund 2, Sevilla 2. This was another great game to watch. Dortmund win 5-4 on aggregate. Erling Braut Haaland became a star, but then so did VAR, Des Corkill.
Yeah, VAR stole the show for an 8-minute cameo in which, okay, let's get technical. They probably got every decision right. Should the goal have been disallowed originally from Haaland? Possibly, yeah, you can understand it. But then do you go back, the penalty, even though it's mild and the guy's not going to get anywhere near there, is it a penalty? Yeah, it's probably right. Was the goalkeeper 6 millimeters off his line when he made the save? Yes, he is. So technically, you're dead right. You put this into a court of law, and of course, VAR wins. But what it has done for the shape of that game, for the control of the referee, for the respect of the referee, for the spirit of the game. To me, it just destroys it categorically. Now, on this one, I've got to say, people are saying they were right on every occasion. I can't argue on that. But what I'm going to argue is they are taking the whole spirit of football and scrunching it up and throwing it away. It was just an 8 minutes of catastrophe. Correct catastrophe. So well done everyone.
All right, when we talk about Dortmund, we have to talk about Erling Braut Haaland. He scored his 19th and 20th goals in 14 Champions League appearances, Bob Holmes. In today's market, right now, how much do you reckon Erling Braut Haaland is worth?
Well,
200
it's
million?
a little bit difficult. Well, you would say that probably, yeah, based on pre-COVID prices. But I think they've come down a bit. Even before that, there was a sign of the peak of when Mbappe and Neymar went to PSG for 200 million apiece. I think Neymar was 222 million euros. I think the prices have actually come down a little bit. A bit more sanity crept into the game. And now we've had COVID when prices have come down further. So it's very hard to say. But yes, you would say something like that, 200 million. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But on paper, you've got a guy there who's only 20 years old, 19 or 20, isn't he?
20,
I think he's turned 20.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to beat Messi's record. He's going to beat Mbappe's record. He's built like a tank. He doesn't seem to have a weakness. Yes, he has to be worth an astronomical figure. But who's going to pay that?
Well,
I think only the nation state-owned clubs can realistically afford it. And that comes down to two, PSG and Man City. Yep. So even United had to take a loan, last week, 60 million. Even United are feeling the pinch. Liverpool is certainly out of it. Abramovich at Chelsea, apparently very keen, but would he pay 200 million for one player? If I was Dortmund, I would hang on. I mean, he's the absolute minimum. They're going to get over 100 million if they sell him now. But if hopefully COVID does retreat and we get back to something like normality, he's going to be worth 200 million plus in a year or so's time. So I would hang on to him.
The problem that, now, sorry to just jump in there, but very quickly, the problem that Dortmund actually have with the upcoming transfer window is that it's been reported that if they wait until 2022, that's when his clause actually kicks in. And he can actually leave for about 75 million pounds or 75 million euros. I think that is, which would be criminally undervalued for Haaland. So I think what they've got that issue coming up now is whether clubs are willing to sort of come out and spend at least 100 million on Erling Haaland. And if so, then they've got a decision to make. Do we keep him for another season, perhaps a title push under Marco Rose, or do we say, you can go because we're going to get more value for you now than we will in the next summer's transfer window? So there's a clause in Haaland's contract that's perhaps what some clubs are sort of waiting for the trigger in 2022.
And can I just add, with all this superstar stuff, Dortmund are sixth.
Yeah. They are sixth. But just to stick on Haaland, Des, 32 games in 30 games, 32 goals in 30 games this season. Dortmund are still sixth because the defense is rubbish. But I mean, if you're Man City, if you're Chelsea, if you're PSG, wouldn't you just make him your number one summer target? Done.
Depends if he fits in with the style of play.
Oh, you make your style of play fit in with him, wouldn't you?
I don't know. So let's look at the Van Dijk situation. You invest that much in it, and then he gets a season-ending injury, and you've invested all of your gameplay around him, which is largely what has happened with Liverpool. The Van Dijk injury has just decimated everything else, midfield, attack, everything has changed. Haaland gets an injury. Let's not forget these guys are just one stud mark away from a nasty injury, and then your whole game plan goes up in smoke. So I don't know. I like these coaches who have a style of playing. But Haaland would be an asset for any team. My argument is, get successful with your current team. Make Borussia Dortmund the leader, like with Harry Kane at Tottenham. Borussia are a big club. They've won the Champions League nearly as many times as Nottingham Forest. They've been in
half as many.
Half as many. They're a big club in their own right. So get your team. That should be your focus. And then, okay, maybe the club cash in. But if you're sixth in the league, you've got to be pushing your team up to the top.
You know, Dortmund have got Sancho and Haaland at the moment. They're just a Kylian Mbappe away from the next generation superstar front three, aren't they?
And they're sixth in the league.
Yeah, and they're sixth in the league. So the players have got to leave, go to better clubs. We could go on all day. Amazingly, there were no German clubs left in the Europa League. Here is your top six in Germany. Bayern and Leipzig are fighting it out. Exciting too, it is. 2 points between them. The others are just fighting for the smaller spots like Dortmund. This weekend, the big game in Germany undoubtedly is the one at the bottom. Leipzig against Frankfurt. It's second against fourth. That's Sunday at 10:30 p.m. That's it. A quick look around Europe from Bob Holmes, Des Corkill, Reese Roshenrai, and myself. We wish you all a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
You guys, thanks.